What we're going to be talking about in this section, I'm basically going to be sharing with you, knowing what I know now after doing this for 4 years, and it's pretty much all I do. I love doing this stuff, so I pretty much do it all day, every day. But knowing what I know now, if I had to start over again, and I'm in your shoes, and I'm a Mob licensee, what exactly would I do to get this up and running and profitable as soon as possible? That's what I want to share with you in this section. So I'm going to take you through 12 steps to building a full-time income online with the License Rights program. Now, Terry touched on this, and I'm a pretty straightforward guy. I'm not really into the whole motivational thing and all of that. But at the same time, from where I'm standing, I see lots and lots of people come online. I've seen thousands of people come online and get our products. And I sometimes wonder, why is it that two people can come online, both have the exact same experience, but 6 months later you have a guy like Junjun, who you'll hear from tomorrow, who's done almost $30,000 in commissions, and the guy was brand new 4 or 5 months ago, and yet you'll have someone else come online who 2 years into this, they're still not getting results. How is that possible? Right? They all have the exact same tools. They have access to the exact same product. How do two people get entirely different results? And it all comes down to what is going on inside of your head. Okay, that's really what it is. So I want to spend some time talking about that. See, I wasn't one of these people who had instant success online. For me, it took me a good 2 years. Unfortunately, a good 2 years for me to really gain traction and start doing well. And it's because of this. Okay, it's because of this. I didn't have my mindset right. So it all starts with you taking absolute full responsibility for your results. There's a tendency in all of us to want to transfer that responsibility and put it on other people or other external things. Yet every speaker that you hear this weekend, every platinum member, everyone who's doing really well, that's a fundamental trait, okay? They all accept full responsibility. So if something's not working, they don't blame, they don't put it on anything else, they accept that. And this for me, this happened in about 2009. I remember I brought into this company, I'd invested $2,000, and then shortly after, I invested another $38,000. So now I'm 40 grand into this. Now, unlike what we have with this other company, you didn't have someone else making your calls for you, right? So you had to pick up the phone and you had to call your leads and make sales. So there I am. I'm a 22-year-old kid. I figure out how to generate my first few leads online, and I'm calling back these people with this script in front of me, and I'm trying to sound like I'm successful, like I know what I'm doing, and I didn't really know what I was doing at all. And I would come so close to recruiting and making my very first sale, which would pay me a $1,000 commission. Yet always at the last minute, I would lose the sale. They would go to the competition, they would change their mind, and it infuriated me, right? And this went on for months and months. And I remember getting to this point where I had this one lady, and I was sure that this sale was going to go through. And then she called me one night and said, "Matt, we've decided to work with someone else in another company." And my heart sunk. I reached rock bottom at that point. And I remember going for my run that night. It's just me running in the dark suburbs alone. And I had this kind of turning point in my mind. I decided right at that moment that no matter what, no matter how many times I got knocked down or something went wrong, I would find a way to do this. And it just stopped becoming like if. There was no if. It was just a matter of when. And I just committed fully to the business. And that was like a real turning point for me. After that point, things started going more my way. Now, one of the biggest problems that we have, or the biggest challenges that we have in this industry, is we bring people into this industry often who come from an employee background. So they've never ran a business before. And most of us, who here before you got into this, you were working a job? You were an employee. Well, at least half of us, right? So we get into this industry, we've never ran a business before, and it's entirely different. When you're running a business, now you're responsible for all of your results. You don't show up to a job and have an exact set of tasks that you should be doing each day. You don't have someone watching over you, right? So you have to monitor yourself. And that's one of the biggest secrets to doing well in here. You've got to make that change from employee mindset to business owner. Okay, they're very different ways of thinking. So this is from Perry Marshall's blog. And I read this post and I just thought that sums it up perfectly. I'll read a few of these out. Basically, it's the difference between wannabes and real entrepreneurs. See if you can recognize yourself or other people in some of these. So, wannabes obsess about ideas. Entrepreneurs obsess about implementation. I can definitely relate to that. In the beginning, I was an ideas man. So I'm always coming up with new ideas, buying new courses, and that's what the focus was on. That is a business opportunity seeker. But in this industry, the business opportunity seekers, they don't make the big money. Right? If you want to make the big money, you've got to start thinking like a business owner, an entrepreneur. You've got to get focused. And it's all got to be about implementation every single day. Wannabes want more web traffic. Entrepreneurs focus on sales conversion. Look at someone like Terry. He doesn't have a giant list. What's he focused on though? He's focused on converting his leads. He'll get them to call in and he'll convert them right there on the phone. John Chow, he'll offer an iPad to people to get them to buy. He's focused on conversion. So yeah, sure, he gets a lot of traffic, but his main focus is on how do I convert those leads into money. That's where your focus needs to be on. Wannabes seek a perfect plan. Entrepreneurs execute and adjust the plan later. This is one of the big secrets to doing well in this business. This event was thrown together in 4 or 5 weeks, right? That's the definition of just taking blind action. That's how I try and do everything. That's how you've got to do it in this business. I know it's very tempting to try and put together a plan and get everything perfect, get everything ready, but if you keep acting like that, you will stay broke. You'll stay struggling in this niche. If you want to do well, you virtually have to throw yourself in the deep end, even if you don't know whether you can swim that well or not. You'll find out how to swim if you need to. Wannabes wait for their lucky break. Entrepreneurs engineer 4, 5, 6 plans, execute them in tandem, wagering that at least one plan will get traction. So let's say you want to start getting leads. Go and do like 3 or 4 different things. Try different things. Try making like 10 videos on YouTube and monitor how much traffic do I get from that. Go to Facebook. Do all of these different things and see what works and what doesn't. And don't confuse that with being like completely scatterbrained and doing like 20 different things. I'm talking about just pick a few things to do, see what works and what doesn't. I like the last one. Wannabes put off practicing basketball until they've got their Air Jordans. Entrepreneurs practice barefoot behind the garage. I love that because, see, when I got started, this whole thing started out of the corner of my bedroom, and half the carpet was soaked in water because the shower was leaking from the wall. And here I was in this dingy little bedroom, but I just got started. And it was tempting to say to myself, I'll wait until I get an office and I'll wait till I've got all the elaborate setup and a new computer and all of that. But just begin with wherever you are right now, just begin. So what to focus on and what not to focus on. The difference between someone making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month and someone making a few $1,000s per month, is really what they actually focus on, what they do day to day. Someone making a few $1,000s per month, or not much at all, they're focused on things that don't directly bring in the revenue. I'll tell you a secret. I don't work, even though now I might be making 100 times what I was 2 years ago, I'm not working 100 times harder. I was working almost as equally as hard 2 years ago, but I was working hard on all the wrong things, right? What I do now, what I do today, is I focus on what's going to bring in the revenue. That is my number one focus. Because me as the owner of my company, that's my chief responsibility. And if I don't worry about that, if I don't put my focus on that, no one else will. All right? So in your business, that's where you need to be focused on. Any activity that directly brings in revenue, that must occupy your mind. So sending out an email to your list, doing a sales webinar, picking up the phone, stuff like that, that's what brings in the revenue. And some of that might make you uncomfortable, and it's very tempting to put that off, right? And to do the little things first, like go to your blog and find this latest plugin that you can install and tweak that. It's all very tempting to go and do those little things, but they don't move you forwards. That's you treading water. You want to be swimming forwards, right? If you tread water for long enough, soon you'll get tired and you go under. So your concept of time, if you want to scale up and you want to start making a lot more, your concept of time has to change. You can no longer think about time in the way that you do now. Your time must become incredibly precious to you, and you almost have to be a little bit selfish with your time, because if you're not, you have time vampires, right? They're coming in, everyone wants 5-10 minutes of your time. Before you know it, half the day's gone by and you haven't got what's important done. Okay, so you really have to think about this. And I break it down. If you want to make $1 million per year, that's $84,000 per month. So it's useful to have that number in the back of your mind, $84,000 per month. Break that down. Works out to be about $280 per hour. So those little things that you're working on right now, like installing your blog or adding a plugin, stuff like that, you can find someone to do that for $20 an hour. Right? You shouldn't be doing that if you want to get to whatever number you're aiming for. So this is what I see. This is like an old screenshot, but every day I'll check this, right? And I'll check it probably 10, 15 times a day. I'm always watching our monthly income. And whenever I reach a certain target, my goal for the next month is to beat that record. So let's say that you made a $1,000 commission, right, in Mobe. Next month, your target, don't aim for like $50,000 because that can be a little bit intimidating. Just aim to do $2,000 or $3,000 next month. And by mere virtue of you always thinking about this and being aware of it, it's almost magical. Your business will start making a lot more money. Okay, just trust me on that. So always be checking your numbers and be conscious of that. Your environment. So who here works out of their home, for example? Just raise your hand. Right, and who here has an office that they go to each day? Right, so like 5 or 6 of you. So, and you know, this is up to you. It really depends on how you have your home set up. But when I separated my work environment from home, because I didn't really have a nice office at home, but when I did it, that changed everything. Okay, just getting away from home, having an office that I could go to each day, lock the door, and it's just me and the business. And you've got to make a decision here. You've got to be either all in or you're not in at all. You can't be halfway into this. Okay, you really can't. It's like me in 2009. I put down $40,000 before I ever made $1. And that was a scary decision. I was 22. That was my life savings. I'd started saving that since I was 8 years old, and I would drive the header, the harvester, on my parents' farm for $4 per hour. So I'd been saving for like almost 2 decades. And to put all of that into some online business that I had really no idea what I was doing, that was a big decision. But I decided, look, I'm either all in on this or I'm kind of just mucking around. I'm kind of half in, and it's not going to work. So money is attracted to speed. How fast you move in your business will determine how much money you make to a large extent. When I was deciding whether to do this event 5 weeks ago, I could have put it off, right? I could have put this off until 3 or 4 months later. But I've learned, a lesson I've learned is that the faster you move in your business, the faster your business will scale. I'm telling you, if you want to do well here, like in this audience, we're going to have there will be a few of you 1 year from now, you'll be doing maybe $50,000 or more per month. And you might not even know that's you right now, but we will have a few who go ahead and do that. And what will determine whether you do that or not is how fast you take this information and you just go and implement it. Okay, just trust me on that. You've got 2 big enemies to doing well here. Spreading yourself too thin, so trying to do too many things at one time, and wanting to get everything perfect, so you procrastinate. Who here thinks you procrastinate a little bit? You procrastinate, right? So we all have that problem. I have it too. My way around it is I will overcommit myself, and I will put myself in situations where now I have to get it done or I'm in trouble. I'll decide to do an event in 5 weeks when I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I'll go and sell 10 tickets and then like, oh, geez, I better start working on this. Right? That's how you have to do it. Because that procrastination that you have, that's the easiest way to just make it a non-issue. When you lock yourself into a deadline where you have to get whatever it is done, procrastination, it's no longer an issue and you will get things done. So, number 2, get good leads every day. So, I was talking to a few of you last night and this came up a lot, right? You want to know how to get more leads. And I'm going to suggest to you that it's not so much about quantity, it's about quality. That should be your focus. Don't ask the question, how can I get 20 leads a day? Ask the question, how can I get 2 or 3 really good leads per day? Okay? You'll make a lot more that way. So what is a good lead and what's a bad lead? So one of my problems with a lot of internet marketers who I see on Facebook and everywhere like that, they talk about leads as if they're a commodity, as if they're all the same. I'll tell you a story. So I grew up on a farm, right? And on our farm, we farm wheat and sheep, and our local town had about 50 people in it. Actually, it's got about 20 people in it now. But it used to have 50. Times were booming. And there's not exactly a lot of job opportunities in this town. But the one job that you can do when you're a young guy is you can go and work on the wheat bin. So the wheat bin is where all the farmers bring all their wheat, and for like half a mile there's this big stack of wheat, thousands of tons. So I would go and work on this wheat bin. And you would look at this big stack of wheat, like I said, thousands of tons. That's a commodity, right? Wheat. Most internet marketers talk about their leads as if they're like that. They're all the same and it's just merely about quantity. Leads aren't like that. Leads are more like diamonds, right? Think about a diamond. No 2 diamonds are going to be exactly the same. It's going to be grade, it's going to be cut, clarity. You've got all of these different factors. Some diamonds might be worth $50. Other diamonds might be worth $10 million. Leads are more like that. So don't think about your leads as merely being numbers, all right? It's more about quality. Now, the really cool thing is that their value is not static. It can be increased by you. So you can take a $2 lead and you can turn that into a $200 lead. I'll tell you how you do that. So, you know, Terry, for example, right? Terry gets a lead. He gets an email lead. They see a YouTube video and they opt into a page of his. That lead at that point might be worth a few bucks. He then sends out an email and says, call me, and he puts his phone number in the subject line, and I've seen him do that. They call him. Now, when he talks to them and they see he's a real person, suddenly that relationship, that perceived relationship in their head, it goes from a 2 to a 10. Now they have a connection with this guy. So when they get an email from him and 20 other marketers, he stands out. They're like, oh, that's Terry. I spoke to him the other day. I know Terry. I don't know these other 19 gurus, but I know Terry. That lead just suddenly went from maybe $2 to $10. Right? So that's the cool thing. You can take your leads, you can make them more and more valuable. And you do that through a number of different factors, but like talking to them, communicating to them, not necessarily on the phone, but even like Facebook chat, things like that, you can make them a lot more valuable. That's what you should spend your time on. With the leads that you have, even if you only have 50, 100 leads, focus on that, making them more valuable to your business. Pick one form of traffic and aim to master it. Now, guys, just give me some feedback. Is this valuable? Are you getting something from this? Yes. All right, good. So, you've got a lot of different traffic strategies that you can do. My advice, pick like 2 or 3 and do something in each one and then see which one is your favorite. So some of you are going to love video. Personally, me, I would rather write something. Okay, video is it's not my forte. But some of you, you're going to love getting in front of a camera, and that's going to be your thing. Right? So you have to pick which one resonates with you, which one you feel good about doing. Facebook pay-per-click, banner ads, solo ads. There's a lot of different traffic methods available to you, and just dive in and start doing it. But everything I do is all about paid traffic. It's all about paid traffic. Paid traffic is scalable. Let's say you have your first $1,000 month. You want to have a $3,000 month next month. It's easy. You just increase what you spent on traffic by 3 times. Okay? That's really what it is. The way that I got from $15,000 to $45,000 in 1 month back on the tail end of 2011, that's all I did. And it was like a light bulb went off. I thought, wow, we went from 15 to 45K. I wonder if I can do that again. So the next month I spent a bit more and we went up to 81,000. And we kept on going. That's when it really, like I'd heard the concept just as you guys are hearing it right now, but when you actually go and do it, you spend money on getting those leads and you watch, okay, I spent twice this month and now I got twice my record. Now it becomes very real. So here's a chart. Some of you might have seen this before. August 2011. So I make about $3,600. That month I spent about $2,500 on traffic. What do you notice? As we go down and the months get later and later, the more I spend, the more comes in. So May 2012, spend $25,000 on traffic, about $150,000 in revenue. Do you see how I do that though? Wherever you are right now, you might not have a big budget. Start off with whatever you're comfortable with right now, whether it's $100 or $200 a month. Try and spend a little bit more than that if you can. But the point is, you've got to get actually in the game. It's very tempting to sit on the sidelines and watch other people doing this, and to want to see, okay, does this solo ad work better than this one? Don't sit on the sidelines. Just go and do it. Just go and do it. So buying traffic, what's really important when you buy traffic? So some of you have come up to me and you've asked me, should I do a solo ad or should I do pay per click? And that is the wrong question to ask. It's not so much about the method of traffic, it's more about the end audience. That's what you should be concerned about. So a better question is, should I go after this audience or should I go after that audience? And then when you decide on which audience is going to be best for your offer, Mobe, then the question becomes, okay, now how do I reach them? Do I reach them through a solo ad? Do I reach them through a banner ad? But the focus needs to be on the audience. Okay, that's where the money is made. Literally, like we could hire the best copywriter in the world to come and write a sales letter. But if we show that to the wrong audience, it doesn't matter how many people we show it to, we're really going to struggle to get conversions. It's all about the audience. This isn't that hard to go and do a paid ad. It's really not that hard. Who here, how many of you have placed an ad on Facebook, for example? You've done a Facebook pay-per-click ad. So those of you who haven't, just be honest with me. Tell me why you haven't. Tell me why you haven't. Don't know how. It's really, really simple. You go into the ads in the menu. You put in an ad. You put in a headline, an image, and a bit of copy and say, I want to send the traffic here to this link. My point is that it's not as complicated as you might think. It's actually pretty simple. We make this complicated in our minds, but it's actually quite simple. If you want to do well here, the people who will do well are the people who, in the next break, go to your computer and place an ad. It doesn't have to take you more than 5 or 10 minutes, but just go and do it. Number 4, be a shameless promoter. Who here has ever spoken to me on Facebook chat at one point? We've sent a few messages back and forth. Right, so a few of you. Be honest. Did I try and sell you something?
All the time.
Yeah, I do. I always try and sell, and I never stop. Especially Junjun. He's one of my best. I always promote. I'm always in promotion mode. The way you have to look at this is like that. You have to always be in that promotional mode. It's like this movie, Glengarry, Glen Ross. Always be closing. My point is it has to become a way of life almost. So, if I log on to if I go into Facebook and I've got messages and I see that there's an opportunity for me to tell someone about a product, I'm not talking about spamming people, but if someone sends me a message and they're asking me a question and I have a product which is going to answer that, I'm going to sell my product. And I'll do like some deal with them if I have to get them to buy. But my point is you always have to be in that mode. It's not, you don't do the sales and marketing side for an hour a day and then 3 hours a day you're doing the tech side. It doesn't work like that. This has to be your focus. Always focus on moving products. That's how you stay safe financially. When this becomes ingrained in the way you live and you're always out there pushing your products, you don't have to worry about money ever again. There's always more coming in. So getting your priorities straight, like I said, sales and marketing, that's really, that should occupy your mind most of the time. When you sit down and you work in your business, that's the stuff that you're focusing on. And I know that I'm kind of repeating myself here, and this might sound a little bit redundant, but this truly is like the main thing to doing well here. Sales and marketing, it must always be on your mind. That's where you do all of your focus. Now, with Mobe, just so you know, some people don't fully understand this, but basically, let's say you sell an I Am Revolution ebook, for example. You sell I Am Revolution. Now, in the past, about 1.5 years ago, what would happen is, so you would get a customer, you would sell I Am Revolution. That customer would then click on about 5 other people's links. And if they would buy the license rights, the person who had the last click would get that commission. So you bring in a customer, but then someone else would get credit for that commission. So a little while ago, I tweaked our affiliate program. So now if you get a customer, that customer stays with you for life, right? So they can't be moving around. Everything they buy from that point you get paid for life. And we've got about 27 different products. So I set that up. So what you should do, one of your focuses here, try and get as many customers tagged to your account as possible. Sell them the low ticket front end stuff like I Am Revolution. Let's say you've got 100 people who brought that ebook. Now you've got 100 people who it's inevitable that some of them are going to step up in time. And you don't have to worry about those commissions going to anyone else because you got that first sale. You got that customer tagged to your account. Okay? 5, one-on-one high touch. So nothing will ever beat one-on-one selling. We send out an email to, like if I send out an email, that could go to over 100,000 people. And that's good, but what is 100 times more effective when you look at it as a percentage is for me to actually talk to people individually. And I mean that as a percentage. So if I send out a broadcast to 100 people and you compare that to me messaging 100 people individually, that one-on-one contact for me, that will always outsell the broadcast by like 10 times. That's why you're doing things like Terry's method on the phone or even Facebook chat, or even you send out an email to your list and you say, look, if you have any questions, reply back and let me know. Send me a message. They reply back and then you always reply back to them. Now there's a personal connection, right? Now you've actually had, even though it's a small exchange, it's still a real exchange. Now, being small actually gives you a huge advantage over someone like myself. See, I don't really have time to talk to people on the phone all day long to sell to my prospects. If I did, I couldn't do that at this level. But you guys, if you're starting out, and let's say you're making less than $10,000 per month, you do, okay? You've got a huge advantage over any of the gurus out there, because all the gurus who have really big businesses, they can't really afford to get on the phone with someone or have that one-on-one touch. But you do, all right? So that gives you a tremendous advantage over people with really big businesses. December to January, when we went from 45K to 81K, that's largely what it was. The Mobe phone team used to be me, and it was me for a little while. And I remember that month, that's really what it was. That was me getting on the phone and having that one-on-one touch with people. It made a huge difference. So Facebook chat, if you want to do this right, and it's incredibly effective. I think I would have made by this point hundreds of thousands of dollars through Facebook chat, just talking to people and doing deals in that little live chat box. So here's how you need to do it, right? So first of all, you don't randomly go and message strangers. That's not how you do it. What you do is you get someone on your list, and then early on, when you follow up with them, you have your follow-up sequence, your emails. Your first email, your second email is going to be something like, hey, just to let you know, I am a real person, and here's my link on Facebook. Come and add me, say hi. If you have a question, let me know. And some of them, not all of them, but maybe like 30%, 20% of them who see that email, they will come and add you. Right? So now you've got people coming to you. That's attraction marketing. And when they send you a message, now they're starting the conversation. And then what you're going to do is if you're at your computer like I am for a good part of the day working on your business, you'll see that little chat box come up, and now you engage them in a conversation. You find out a little bit about them, you find out what they're looking for, and once you uncover those needs through asking those questions, you'll find out that we do in fact have a product that is going to suit them. So that's what I just said. So now, number 6. On your list, right, who here has a list of over like 100 people? Just raise your hand. So most of you have over 100 people on that list. Contained on that list, you're going to have 5% which are easy buyers. you don't even really have to sell that hard to them, and they will buy. So whenever I sent, like when I sent out an email for this event, straight away, about 7 people brought within about 30 minutes. And those 7 people, I recognized their names straight away, and I thought, okay, they are the easy buyers. Now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying that on every list, you will have that segment who they're ready to buy. They're a big fan of you and what you do. They love what you do, and sure, they'll just buy right away. But then you have about 10%. Now, there's another 10% segment on that list, and they're going to take a little bit more work. You're going to have to email them several times. You're going to have to work that list. But if you do, then they will buy too. Okay, so now you're up to 15% buyers. But then what you have is you have about 25, or let me back up a second, you have about 60% who, no matter how good of a marketer you are, they will never buy from you. You have to get used to that. In this business, most people are going to say no. Most people are not going to buy from you, and that's perfectly fine. But there's 25%, and these are what you might call, like, they're in this kind of mushy segment, and they could go either way. They're kind of on the fence, and they're curious. I mean, they're interested about whatever product you're promoting to them, but they need a little push. They need a little push to get them off the fence. And that's where your bonus will come into play. Tell me, who here has actually done a bonus? You've ever offered a bonus to your list? Just, I can't see. Like 3 of you, 4 of you? I'm guessing, and just tell me if I'm right here, those of you who haven't done a bonus, maybe one of the reasons why is you didn't know what to offer. Or maybe you thought, I don't really know if I have another product to offer, or what possible extra value I could give. So the very first thing, the one thing that every single one of you has is your time. And I'm telling you, if you go home and you create a bonus offer and you give away your time whenever someone buys from you, you will get sales. All right? If you put that in front of enough targeted leads, you will get sales from that. And it's really simple. All it is here's what I've got. Okay, so I've got this Mob License Rates program, and when you buy it, I'm going to get on the phone with you. Now, I just flew 1,000 miles to get to the annual Mob License Rates event, and I heard from all the top earners, there were only about 60 people in the room who actually heard what I heard. It's only maybe 60 people on the planet who know what I now know. And when you get the Mob License Rates program, I'm going to get on the phone with you, and I'm going to coach you through what we learned at that event. I'm going to show you how to get your business up and running. And you might think, some of you might think, well, what if I don't have a lot of sales? But you will. The person you're talking to, you obviously got a sale, so you're now telling them how you got them in a way. But now you have real life results. You got a sale. That's all it has to be. So here's what I've got. You tell them, here's what it will do for you. All right, so you tell them, look, this will get you focused, so you know exactly what you need to be doing to run a successful Mob business. And then here's what I want you to do next. Go here, buy this, send me an email as soon as you buy it, and let me know. And that's it. That's your bonus done. Doesn't have to take you more than maybe 30 minutes, but it will get you a lot more sales. So that's really what it is. Be proactive with your conversions. Right, so when I go out there and I buy leads, when I go out there and I put down money on media and I generate leads, I don't sit back and wait for my autoresponders to convert that list. I'm very proactive with how I go about converting those leads. So if I have to put on a sales webinar, for example, or I have to talk to them on Facebook, let's say I've got this bad habit. I'm laying in bed at night watching a movie. I'm trying to stop, but I always do it. I'm watching a movie and I have my email or Facebook open while I'm watching the movie. If I get a lead and they come and message me, I'll pause the movie and I'll talk to them, even if it's 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'll make a sale right there and then. But you've got to be that proactive. Cross-sell. No one is really doing this in Mobe as well as they should be. And I'm telling you, like those of you like Terry, John, there's a few of you here who've got 30 or 40 or 50 licensees under you. If you take this home and you do this, it doesn't need to take you more than 30 minutes. But if you do it, you'll put $10,000 in your pocket pretty easily. Understand that the hardest sale that you ever make in your life will be the first sale to a brand new customer. And that will also be the most expensive sale that you make. But selling additional products to an existing customer, someone who's already bought from you once, is actually pretty easy. So if you get someone to buy I Am Revolution, they are your best prospect to follow up with. Who here has sold a copy of I Am Revolution before? Right, so just about most of you have. The smartest thing for you to do when you get home is to go and compile a list of all the people who've got I Am Revolution and send them an individual email and make some kind of bonus offer if they get another Mobe product. And I'm telling you, if you do that enough, like let's say, I've got 3 scenarios here, right? Just listen to this. This is really important. Let's say that you decide when you get home you're going to go and spend $1,000 on a solo ad, okay, because you want to get some leads coming in. And you get 5 I Am Revolution buyers from that, and one of them steps up and becomes a licensee. How much money have you now made? You made about $1,050, right, or $1,045. So you didn't lose money. You didn't make a whole lot of money, but you got a free list in exchange. So that's a good deal. But let's say in that same scenario, you went to that one Mobe license rights buyer and you offer them 10,000 leads in 100 days and they buy it. Suddenly, now you've made $2,045. You outlaid $1,000 and now you have made back double your money. You've doubled your money, right? Now you can afford to go and do a $2,000 solo ad the next month. Now you can scale. What if we take it one step further? Let's say you have that same scenario, but now you go to that licensee and you get them to apply for titanium and platinum. And because you're smart, you got positioned at titanium and platinum from the beginning. So now you're qualified to make those $3,000 and $5,000 commissions. You get them to apply, we follow up, and we get that sale for you. You've now made somewhere around, that's actually wrong, you've now made over $10,000 from that one Mobe licensee. You see how that works? You outlaid $1,000 and now you've got back $10,000 in commissions. You have a much more profitable business and now you can afford to go and spend more money each month to get more customers. It sounds really simple, but this is really all it is. And let me give you an example right now. Let's say that you have a Mobe license right sale under you right now. The easiest way for you to get some revenue when you get home would be to do this. Follow this pretty much exactly. All right, I won't read this word for word, but basically you're going to send them a message and you're going to say, "Hi John, hi Catherine. How are you doing? How are things going for you in the license rights program? Are you sending traffic so Matt can convert your traffic and get you sales? If not, I want to talk to you about something." The other day, I'm talking to a person on Facebook, and they're a licensee like you, and they say this. They say, "Look, I know that as a Mobe licensee, all I have to do is send leads and Matt's team will follow up," and so on. Problem is, I don't really know how to get too many leads, and I don't know much about traffic. So I'm not really getting any sales with it. What can I do? And look, I'll admit, if you're not getting traffic and leads, then it's going to be kind of hard for you to get results. Basically, and just model this word for word, and I'll make sure you all get a copy of this too. Basically, it all comes down to this. Traffic plus conversions equals sales. If you don't have that conversion part in place, then it's kind of hard. Luckily, you do. but you need traffic. You need traffic. Conversion part is handled, but you need traffic. One of the best ways for you to get traffic is to get Matt's course, 10,000 Leads in 100 Days. And he's going to share with you exactly how you go about getting traffic. And basically you can get it here. And you're going to have your license link to that course. Okay? And then you can make some kind of offer. You can say, look, if you get this program, then I'm actually going to work with you. We'll get on the call for 3 hours or 3 30-minute sessions over the next week. And I will help you implement what you learned in that course. If you're interested, get it right here or message me back. So you send this message to all of your license rights buyers. I'll guarantee you almost that out of every 3 license rights buyers that you get, if you send this message to all 3, you'll get at least one sale for 10,000 leads. And you'll make $1,000. Okay? So now you're taking those existing sales and you're making them worth a lot more to your business. This is one of the secrets to how we do so well. When we get a customer, we then follow up like crazy and we will offer them lots of other programs. Okay? That's the secret to doing well. You get a lot of businesses in this niche, they'll go and get a customer. They'll buy their $10 ebook, but then they won't follow up. They don't have a back end like we do. We have a really good back end. Number 9, Mob Office customization. How many of you have logged into Mob Office and you've customized the little widget on the side? Just by a show of hands, who's done that? Right, so most of you haven't, and this will take you like 2 minutes, but it will make all the difference in the world. You see, you're getting sales, and when they buy, they log into Mob Office for their products. They log in, and they might not even see you. Okay, if you're just doing a Facebook pay-per-click ad to My Office, they don't even know about you. But there is one way that they can know about you. If you go into Mob Office, you can barely see it right there, like a little laser there. You can see it right there. You can have your photo, your contact details, your Facebook information. Now every time they log in, they see that you are their sponsor. And also, notice that it says earning level. So there it says Platinum Mastermind member. Right? I'll give you a tip. Those of you in Platinum, if you want more of your licensees to step up, that's good. All right? That sets that leadership expectation. Now, all you have to do, guys, is go into My Account. It's up there in the menu, and update my profile. You can go and do this in the break. It'll take you about 2 minutes. You're simply going to add your photo. You're going to add a little bio. So you can say, look, Matt Lloyd is an internet marketer who got started in this year and teaches people how to make money online. If you want to contact me, message me here or opt in here, whatever it is. But my point is, you can be branding yourself to all of these customers that you're getting. So this is like really easy to do, but it's very, very effective. Number 10, Ascension. Have them apply for Titanium and Platinum. I don't know if you guys know this, but every single time these days that we get a licensee, we now send them a sales letter getting them to apply for Titanium and Platinum. So we're already making these sales for you on the back end. Does anyone want to see that sales letter? You want to see it? Yeah. All right, so Brian, if you want to hand those out, we just got this done in the last maybe month or 2. Okay, but every time that you get a license rights sale, we're actually sending this in the post. We send it to them in the post. They then apply. We follow up. And if they go into Titanium or Platinum and you're positioned, you're now getting an additional $8,000 per customer. Now, you can help speed that up. You can help that process along by having your licensees go to this URL right here. It's myonlinebusinessempire.com/next level. Okay? But if you get them there, they apply, then they step up. We're automatically doing this for you in the background, just so you know. But this is how you're going to get from maybe 10,000 a month to over 50,000 a month with titanium and platinum commissions. I got this. Before I came down, I took a little screenshot of this. And I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but basically, I went and searched my entire database and I looked at customer lifetime value. I found that those who had given me 10 cents to $20, we had about a little bit under 3,500 people who've done that. Now, those who've given us 20 to 100 bucks, about 286, 100 to 500, 567, 500 to 2,000. So these are possibly licensees. Some of them they're on payment plans, so they're still in the other one. But 489, and then 2,000 to $50,000, 370. Contained in that 370 is about 60% of our revenue. Think about that. So we have almost 3,500 people, but I would say, what is that? That's like 15%, I don't know, like 15%. Basically 15% of our customers account for maybe 60% of our overall revenue. My point is, if you want to really scale this up, you've got to be getting that ascension. You've got to work on getting your IM Revolution buyers to Mobe license rights buyers, and then them to titanium and platinum. That's how you're going to do well here. That is the secret. Leverage each success. So every time that you get a sale, I don't care whether it's an IM Revolution sale or a license right sale, you should be documenting that. You should be taking screenshots. Every time I send you some money in e-wallet, take screenshots of that, go and celebrate it, but use that in your marketing. Okay, these things become your assets. Every little success you have, document it, and you can use that in your marketing. Because that is a huge credibility boost, right? If you can say, look, here's a screenshot of a commission I made with Mobe. Now it's only $500, but that was mostly passive or something like that. Or if it's a bigger number, great. But my point is, not enough of you are using these results that you're getting. Okay, use them all. It's like I'll tell you a story. So when I got started, it took me 9 months to get my first sale. So 9 months, I got my first $1,000 commission, and my marketing then, it was now all about, see how I make up to $1,000 per day, even though it was one sale. But I leveraged that result. And I remember the first time that I had someone step up from that level to a much higher level, and I made $15,000 in one day, and I couldn't believe it back then. That was like the best day of my life, almost up until that point. And I took that result, I took screenshots of it, and that was like the focus in my sales that are $15,000 in one day. And I kept on leveraging that. So whatever little results you have, doesn't matter how little it is. Like let's say you got your first 10 leads, for example. You might think, well, big deal, 10 leads, that's not much at all. But there are people out there who they're still struggling to get their first lead, their second lead. They see that and they think, okay, this person knows more than me. They know how to get 10 leads. So every little success, leverage it. And finally, guys, to wrap this up, use all the tools available to make sales. So not enough of you do this, but we have a lot of tools that will help you get more license right sales. So for example, mobemerc.com, that's going to become a very powerful tool in your arsenal of marketing tools. And you can get an affiliate link, a license link to that page. But what I plan on doing, my whole vision with this is to have about 100 people driving Mercedes in the next 6 to 12 months. And we have videos for every single one of them on that page. Just imagine that, right? You send a prospect to mobemerc.com and they see all of these people standing next to a Mercedes. So make sure you use that. Now you could have that, like every time you send out an email to your list, in the footer, you just have Want to see how you can get a free Mercedes? Click here. So every single email you send out to your list, you're constantly putting that in front of them. It takes like 2 minutes to set that up. But little things like that, that is what gets people off the fence. You've got all these people on your list who are on the fence. Little things like that, if they see it enough, that is what will make them buy. You've got my presentation that I did on stage. It's called The Anatomy of a 315K per month business. That is really, fundamentally, that's an offer. That's a sales pitch from the stage for the License Rights Program. But it's also good content. So you want to be sending that to your list. You want to rotate these offers around, right? So you send one for like 3 to 5 days, and then you send another. You've got the main MOB License Rights sales webinar. So always funnel people through that, because then they show up on a live webinar. It's very real. There's like scarcity involved. And it works very well. Done for you emails. So one thing that I work on, one thing that I'm focusing on now, is how can we have more continuity income? How do I create more offers for you guys to promote, like the Inner Circle, where you're getting, say, 90% commissions month after month after month? And also what I'm doing is I'm putting in different pricing structures to help with our ascension. So for example, done for you emails, if you're a licensee, it's $97 per month. If you're titanium, it's $47 per month. And if you're platinum, it's free. What do you think that does? When enough people see that, that helps with the ascension. So if you have a licensee under you, they're seeing things like that all the time. And they are going to be stepping up. They are stepping up. Roughly 1 out of 3 licensees will step up and become titanium. And half of those will step up and become platinum. Those are the industry averages. So guys, that's pretty much it. That is my 12-step plan to getting better results with the license.